he was depending on these broadcast companies to fulfill. What were you really promising? Everything you were promising, you couldn't fulfill.
And Joe makes a great point there, because that's where I see the problem with this whole situation. I think, me personally, this is what I put on the YouTube channel. My problem with this whole situation, and Joe, you'll understand this terminology, is there was no meeting of the minds, really. Because if De La Hoya is telling Canelo, and this is what it says according to the complaint. I mean, all we have is the complaint. We don't have the contracts. But if De La Hoya is telling Canelo that you make the final decision as to who you fight, and De La Hoya is also telling the DAZN in a separate contract that you get to approve who he fights, well, was there really a meeting of the minds there? I mean, this could invalidate the entire thing, right?
That's where I was confused, Joe. That's where I was confused at. If one contract says basically Canelo gets to say who he fights, and then another contract says the DAZN gets to say who he fights, final say. Well, who the fuck? Somebody's fucking up, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, well, ultimately, I mean,
if Joe is saying, and then what Joe is saying, that's compounded because De La Hoya doesn't have the money to pay that $35 million. He's getting it from the $40 million license fee that the DAZN is giving him. So it's kind of like that contract depends on the other.
And then hoping that there's a live gate because the live gate brings in about $100 million or whatever.
Right. No live gate fucks up.
Right.
Well, I tell you what, fellas, I think this is informative for everybody, man. Because being a trainer / management by having to be, and my partner and having both lawyers, because we argue in the case that who knows, they may drop a bombshell down, 2 weeks from now that changes the whole fucking thing. But I think it gives people insight on this thing, and it makes the fans look and say, shit, I was rooting for Canelo like he was the fucking Yankees. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. That's why you got to show some respect to Mayweather Promotions, because even though he doesn't fight his guys, it's probably because he doesn't want to get in over his head like De La Hoya.
Well, it looks like Canelo, De La Hoya, and the DAZN got themselves a little Mexican standoff, and we'll see. Time will only tell how this thing's going to end. Hopefully, it'll be in a boxing ring soon. Because I know us boxing fans and everyone in the business is ready to get back to it, man.
Same, bro. I appreciate you coming on, man. We need to do some more shows, man. I'm not gonna pretend I know kickboxing, but if you need a boxing perspective, I got you.
I love boxing, so I'm down to talk boxing anytime. Joe, I wanted to ask you something because when I got on, I heard you talking about potentially filing a lawsuit against the Texas State Athletic Commission or whatever your equivalent is over there. I wanted to ask you, so they allowed you to go through the motions of putting together an entire event, and at the last minute, they told you that you had to pay for COVID tests for everybody? They didn't let you know that ahead of time?
Oh, no. We knew ahead of time what it was going to be. They didn't think that we were going to be able to pull it off, and we did. So we were ready to go. They were supposed to pay for their people's tests, and they weren't ready to go. They were just going to practice social distancing.
Oh, man.
So everything changed at the end, and then they told us, look, in the environment, we don't know if this is going to be safe, and you should cancel your show. I said, well, I think it's going to be the safest place in Houston to be that weekend because I know we're all going to be tested negative.
Like that,
man. And how long before Joe, Alfonso and them, they was at the weigh? They was at the weigh-in before they pulled the plug on them, right?
Yeah, that was in March. So that's when it all. Let's see, like when the rodeo got shut down. So that was like March 13th. They got shut down. We did the show the week before at the baseball stadium. This was July. So this was a week after the protests and people started popping positive. at that point. So they said it was a risk that they didn't want to run the risk of taking up a hospital bed for somebody else in need and taking an ambulance for somebody in need. It's like, look, that's all private stuff. I mean, we've never had, I think out of 11 fights, we only had one person carted out from a show. So the likelihood of somebody getting hurt in this one was negligible. And we have a private doctor there to suture anybody up that needed suturing. So on a risk of 0.01%, they cancel their show and without reason.
We have another, I guess the other biggest promoter locally. The fighters were at the weigh-in, bro, getting on the scale when they pulled the plug from them. Yeah, man.
That's a lawsuit begging to happen, if you ask me, man. That's
well, LT Gray's was horrible, but I mean, like again, that was March 13th. So that was right when everything just started getting shut down. So there was no COVID testing. That was just a regular show. And this one was $30,000 extra of extra expense.
Yeah, Joe and them was actually preparing for doing a little bubble. I had a fighter on the card. We was gonna go into the hotel and isolate and all that. So they were doing everything they were supposed to do.
I wanted to do one out here, man, but the California State Athletic Commission, probably the least business-friendly state on the planet. They wanted to pay not only for everybody's COVID test, they wanted me to pay for their own officials' COVID test. They pulled their attorney on this meeting. And he was saying that according to like the state's employment laws, that those guys are not my employees. Those are your employees. You guys are independent contractors. The fighters are independent contractors. Why are you making me pay? But they wouldn't change their mind about it. So at least you guys don't have to pay for theirs as well.
Well, I appreciate y'all, fellas.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, y'all, man. What's another episode?
He's in the chat.
Say it again.
I wanted to hear Serge Estrada. He's in the chat. He's a cut man out here in California. He's in the chat saying stuff in the chat. So I just wanted
I know of him. We friends.
Having me look.
Appreciate you, brother. We'll line something up later too.
I'm here.
All right,
brother. All right, Joe, man. Well, we appreciate you coming in. Taking time off this Saturday morning. I think we learned a lot.
Yeah, as usual, bro. Thanks for helping us out, bro. I think there ain't many places you can go to get this kind of information.
So keep an eye out. I mean, we'll have an announcement this week about what we're doing over in Mississippi. We got, that we have the Texas Boxing Hall of Fame or Combat Sports Hall of Fame going on too. So boxing, kickboxing, martial arts, BJJ, we're doing that this year in December.
Nice.
I'll announce the recipients of that in the next 2 weeks. So lots going on, but I just wish boxing was back to normal in Texas so we could put some shows on, but we'll get there.
If the show can take part in that Texas thing, let me know, man, in any capacity, promoting whatever.
Definitely. Like I said, we'll be announcing it. Maybe we'll do another podcast to go over what we're going to be doing for them.
Absolutely.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate you, Joe.
All right, take care, guys.
Fight up. All right, bro.
No.
Peace.
Well.